Barry pushed the phone across the desk to me and said, "You want to know what's going on? Here, dial this number. Tell him you're me," Oglesby related. When I did what he requested, he continued. A female voice answered the phone saying, "Vice President Bush's office, may I help you?" I said, "This is Barry Seal." She asked me to wait while she transferred the call, which was immediately picked up by a man who identified himself as Admiral somebody or other, who said to me, "Barry, where you been?" That's when I told him that I wasn't Barry Seal, I was his lawyer, said Oglesby. Immediately he slammed down the phone. Then we discovered why Seal had been so unconcerned about being killed by the Medellin cartel. I asked Barry why he wasn't worried about the Colombians killing him, stated close associate mob pilot Rene Martin. He said he told the Colombians he was going to pull a fast one and testify for Ochoa against the U.S. government. Unquote. 2 weeks before he died, Barry Seal had hired a private investigator in Miami, Steve Dinerstein, to run FAA title searches on 15 different airplanes he had used in his smuggling enterprise. Seal was getting ready to talk about who owned his smuggling fleet 15 years ago. Barry Seal was assassinated because he was getting ready to talk. He had even contacted a Paramount Studios production vice president about making a movie. While the killers approached Barry Seal's Cadillac in the Baton Rouge twilight, Seal had been on his car phone with a CIA aircraft procurement executive in Arizona, Bill Lambeth, who will himself be murdered in Phoenix 7 years later. Suddenly cut off, and fearing the worst, Lambeth frantically dialed Barry's home number, where his wife Debbie answered. "I think something's wrong with Barry," Lambeth said ominously. Debbie, unable to reach her husband, bundled her 3 small children into the car and frantically headed for the Salvation Army halfway house where he'd been sentenced to sleep for 6 months. On the way, she stopped at a payphone to make another attempt to reach her husband and learned he was now unreachable, unquote. "He's not going to the hospital," she remembers being told. "He's dead. Don't come here, Debbie. Don't." As she returned to her car, she could see through her tears her 3 small children's heads barely peeking over the car seats. And though Barry Seal is anything but blameless, his 3 small children were. They symbolize the millions of lives ruined by a phony drug war whose only purpose is to line still more the pockets of a crew of elite deviants who took over our country. "All I could think of was my poor little babies, my poor babies," Debbie Seal told us, choking back tears. "I didn't know how I was going to tell them that their daddy was dead." At the Baton Rouge funeral home where mourners gathered for Barry Seal's wake, the newly widowed Debbie Seal's oldest childhood friend noticed with curiosity an entire line of men in sleek dark suits hovering near the back of the room. "Who are they?" she asked Debbie. "They're with the government," Debbie replied. "They've come to make sure that he's dead," unquote. This has been the story of Barry Seal, the biggest drug smuggler in American history who died in a hail of bullets with George Bush's private phone number in his wallet.